against skenes.
This summer, setting up for a really fun one with the Cubs in first place. Today, Mike Burrows, the pitcher for the Pirates, and for the Cubs, Matthew Boyd.
Sometimes artifacts in the collection of the Hall of Fame can tell multiple stories. This is the earliest known Yankees baseball cap in existence. It tells a story of a very early baseball cap and of a guy who just had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. But there's actually a hidden story inside this cap. There's another name written in the cap. So who's Dolan?
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
That future you can't use. And since your Rapid Rewards points don't expire, you can save up for that big trip. Get ready to reward future you with a future flight. Sign up for Rapid Rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All Rapid Rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
Man, that was easy.
Bulldog Rotary Hammer!
Hello?
It is I, He-Man, your inner Bosch.
Inner...
Bosch!
I'm sorry, what?
That powerful feeling you get when you can powerfully blast through concrete. Say it with me.
What, like right now?
Yes! We have the power!
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
American Sail has the largest selection of pools, patio sets, hot tubs, and grills. And right now, during the summer celebration sale, you can save up to 50%. American Sail. Bring the fun home.
The Cubs radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers, is underway. I'm Matt Spiegel in for Zach Zabin. Zach will have to call the game coming up.
Now representing the organization, Jim Leland and AJ Hinch are presenting Miggy with a customized set of cleats made by renowned artist Marco Turzo, made from several significant baseballs from Miguel's career. The cleats are presented on a base representing the time he spent at both third and first base in his career.
Boomer is the dog. Then he looked good. I just followed his picture all the way. And there he is. Boomer's dad.
That was kind of a change from the everyday thing that we normally do as far as baseball cards are concerned.
Hey, I have a Labrador. Where's my card?
You know, a little bit different, and it turned out to be a fun experience.
It was just when the camera crew tried to leave that there was a problem. You can't leave.
Fans, 670 The Score gives you an insider's perspective of your favorite team throughout the season. Talking to Ian Happ, Tuesdays at 11:25 a.m. during Score Middays.
Nico Horner, Tuesdays at 2:30 with Spiegel and Holmes.
Cubs manager Craig Counsell, bi-weekly with Spiegel and Holmes.
Plus, we'll talk to Cubs president of baseball operations Jed Hoyer and GM Carter Hawkins throughout the season as well.
We are your official radio home of the Cubs. Chicago's Sports Radio, 670 The Score.
Think your pup has what it takes to be the Tito's handmade vodka canine of the game? Submit your dog now at 670thescore.com and your pup could get a shout out during a Northsiders broadcast on 670 The Score. Tito's handmade vodka. Vodka for dog people.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Meet Viant AI, the world's first fully autonomous advertising platform. With Viant AI, you can automate media planning, analyze results, and drive smarter decisions, all while saving you time and resources. Viant AI helps you unlock new potential and boost productivity regardless of your expertise. Visit Viant.ai today and see how the future of artificial intelligence in advertising can work for you.
Refresh your home with Benjamin Moore. Now through June 16th, save 20% on Benjamin Moore Woodlux exterior stains and samples at participating retailers. Visit BenjaminMoore.com.
The Cubs take on the Brewers in a 3-game series starting this Tuesday, June 17th. Be here for it. Get your tickets at Cubs.com/tickets. Let's pause 10 seconds right now for stations to identify themselves right here on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Rahimi and Harris, 10 a.m. to 2 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
You're listening to the Cubs radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. The Injury Report is sponsored by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. Visit IBJI.com for locations and services. Shota Imanaga will pitch today in Arizona. His second rehab outing after the first one went very well last week. Should get a better feel for that timeline in the coming days. Also, Eli Morgan, the reliever picked up from Cleveland in the offseason, will throw in Arizona as well. Meanwhile, closer candidate Porter Hodge threw an inning yesterday in Iowa, 14 pitches. Everything went well as he recovers from what has been called a hip impingement after initially being an oblique muscle strain. Time to look at who's hot and who's cold. Sponsored by Plumbers 911. Plumbing emergency? Call the professionals, available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. The offense has been cold, of course, greatly influenced by the opposing pitchers. More on that in a few minutes. Since the Nats series began on June 3rd, the Cubs O has a WRC plus of 90, which ranks 21st of 30 teams in baseball, but the entire pitching staff is hot. Since Memorial Day, the traditional start of summer, Cubs have a team ERA of 2.29. That is the very best.
The biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
I remember the first series I had, the first home run I hit was a grand slam against Seattle, which was the team that I had played for the year before. As we know, Cleveland can get a little cold, so we'll wear the dark blue long sleeves. And for some reason, this jersey, I always liked my jersey a little longer. The reasons for it, for a little padding, so when I would slide, I wouldn't get all patched up and roughed up.
Of them over the last 2 weeks.
So, Mackenzie Gore, Zach Wheeler, Jesus Luzardo, Tariq Skubal, Jack Flaherty, and now Skenes yesterday. If you had to say who's the toughest of that batch.
You know me, I'm not really in the business of saying who's the best at all of them, but it's a pretty good rotation if they were to all be on the same team.
Yeah.
From the stuff to the mound presence and the teams, the whole thing. Like they're really good for a reason, and it's always fun being able to compete against those kinds of guys and kind of see where you stack up, and we've handled our own as best we can and put up some good at bats, but. Those guys definitely make it tough for a reason.
Yeah, you guys made Skenes work. 35-pitch inning was the longest inning he's ever had in the big leagues yesterday, and you got him out after 5. What makes him? I mean, it's obviously a big pitch mix, but he's tall, and it comes out from a funky spot too, doesn't it?
I mean, it's all of it, right? It's the stuff itself. It's the amount of different types of pitches that he throws. It's the ability for him to execute, and then like I said, you add a little bit of some like just the deception and arm angle and just all the different things, right? And then kind of put it together and it becomes a little bit of a perfect storm. He's just a guy that he makes it really hard for you to score runs off of him. It's hard to string together hits, and he typically doesn't walk too many guys, and kind of makes you earn your walk if you're going to walk, and it's always a fun battle, going against him.
It's kind of like a quarterback against a quarterback. It's not like Cade Horton was going against him, but there's still that feeling of rising up.
Yeah.
It seemed like Cade rose up.
Yeah, no, Cade was awesome yesterday. You can just see the
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in
Today's pitching matchups are sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Mike Burrows came up to the Pirates, joined the rotation on May 22nd. He's 1-1 with an ERA of 5 in 4 starts. Had a 2.51 ERA in 7 starts at AAA Indy before that. A top 30 prospect for the Pirates every one of the last 5 seasons. Meanwhile, Matthew Boyd for the Cubs, 5-3 with a stellar 2.89 ERA in 13 starts. He's gone at least 5 innings in all but one of them, at least 6 in 9 of them. The Cubs' 2 best sluggers against right-handed pitchers are Pete Crow Armstrong and Michael Busch. Let's go with Busch to go deep against the Pirates' righty Burrows. He is my pick, who I am banking on. Sponsored by Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Had a chance to talk to the skipper before the game, and he spoke from the dugout. And when you hear from the manager, it's sponsored by the Village of New Lenox, leading the way in residential and economic development. He was asked about the approach of a veteran hitter like Kyle Tucker maybe rubbing off on some of the youngsters.
It's all just experience, and I think, when you're around different people and people that are really good at their craft, I think you take note of things, you try to apply them to your game, and then sometimes you say, it's hard, but some of it is like when Kyle lays off a pitch that's an inch outside, does that help Pete? I'm not sure.
Matt Shaw saw 17 pitches in 2 plate appearances against Skenes yesterday. Is that by design?
No,
just his thought process?
No, it's foul balls. I mean, you're trying to square it up, and you hit a foul ball. And, in the end, that's what, when we talk about how do we get pitch counts up, they usually get up because of foul balls. And so sometimes, I think the hitters would say sometimes there's the good foul ball, which is the pitcher throws the tough pitch and you're just fortunate to get a piece of it and you foul it off. And then there's the pitch that you had to hit and you hit a foul ball, and those, you can see the hitter reactions on that. Against a guy like Skenes, it's just harder to square up. So you're going to see some foul balls. And he's pretty darn good at making you swing and miss too. So the foul ball gets you another pitch and maybe a little better pitch to hit. So it's one of those many at 2 at bats. I thought he had really good at bats. He probably so it says 17. He probably felt like he had 2 or 3 to hit of those 17. That's hitting.
Matt Shaw in his standard spot, hitting 9th and playing 3rd. Zach Zamian will have the full lineups for you shortly because the ball game is around the corner. Right here on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans. It's Pete Crow Armstrong. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Step up to the plate like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high app limits, low holds, exceptional customer service, and more. Whether you're betting with the home team or scouting the next big matchup, take your swing with the Circa Sports app. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. That's circasports.com.
Your outdoor oasis awaits. Save 20% on Benjamin Moore Woodlux exterior stains and samples now through June 16th when you visit your locally owned Benjamin Moore store. The Woodlux line of premium quality all-weather exterior stains help protect wood siding, decks, porches, fences, and furniture with luxurious results, so you can give your outdoor space a fresh new look for the season. Visit BenjaminMoore.com to find a locally owned retailer near you. Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it
All right, I
I got a couple packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. Let's open them up and see who's in here. I love the bubble gum. Oh my. Tom Seaver, but with a White Sox uniform on. The franchise for the Mets. I played with him in 1983, my rookie season. I was just in awe with these guys when I saw them in spring training and got a chance to play with them. Baseball cards of memories.
Here we go. This is a classic road jersey for Boston. This is the first uniform I put on when I came with Boston. When you see those two socks together, that's one thing I know I had to do. I had to make sure I had my red socks high, okay? My two red socks, because, you know, there's two here.
Ian Happ here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
Set sail this June for a boundless bounty at Potawatomi. Come aboard, and you might win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Boundless bounty this June at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
School's out and summer is in, which means more groceries to feed growing kids. With Northern Illinois Food Bank, you can help serve over 7,500 nutritious kids' meals daily. Every dollar donated to the food bank equals $8 worth of groceries, because that's what it takes to help a child thrive. You can help solve summer hunger by visiting solveHungerToday.org.
Yeah, mine was a Topps now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these results, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
First baseman. The left fielder is Tommy Pham, and batting ninth for Pittsburgh, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the shortstop, with rookie right-hander Mike Burrows on the mound. For Craig Counsell's Cubs, a record of 42-28, first place in the National League Central, a 4.5-game lead over second place Milwaukee. Ian Happ leads off and plays left. Kyle Tucker in right. The designated hitter is Seiya Suzuki. The Cubs cleanup man is center fielder Pete Crow Armstrong. Dansby Swanson at short. The first baseman is Michael Busch. Catcher Carson Kelly bats seventh. Nico Horner plays second base. And batting ninth for the Cubs, third baseman Matt Shaw, with veteran left-hander Matthew Boyd on the mound. First pitch next, Cubs and Pirates from Wrigley on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of Cubs baseball. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Oh man, you're late. The first pitch was an hour ago and FOMO is taking over. You're tempted to speed. But what's the move? Do you hit the gas and rush to get there? Or keep it safe and stick to the speed limit? Nice call. Better late than never. There's no need to speed. Think you can keep making smart moves? Head to itsnotagameillinois.com to play the retro arcade.
When you're injured in a car crash, you need your lawyer to play offense. Insurance companies love to run out the clock while you're stuck with medical bills, lost wages, and severe injury. Don't settle for mediocrity. Don't tempt fates. Pick up the phone and call the 8s. Having fought the battles, we know how to get you across the goal line. We're here to help you overcome insurance companies' tactics and get the compensation you deserve. If you're hurt, hire a champion today.
Don't hesitate. Call the 8s.
312-888-8888.
Everyone loves a fresh haircut for summer, but with the weather warming up and the kids out of school, this season is the time for making memories, not appointments. That's why you should go to Great Clips. You can use convenient online check-in to get in for a cooler, shorter haircut for less whenever you have time. Plus, their skilled salon stylists save your haircut details in clip notes, so you can get the same cut next time, no matter who you see. So, what are you waiting for? Get in, get out, and get back to enjoying summer with time-saving haircuts at Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
FinishingChicago.com for the industry's best drywall finishing, wall covering, glass systems, signage, and painting contractors. Rely on FinishingChicago.com.
It's game time. Time to crack open a Yuengling. After 196 years, the wait is over. Yuengling is finally available here in Illinois. Look for it at your favorite bar or store. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. And Matthew Boyd on the bump today, Z, for the Cubs. Cubs need a big performance from him, and they got the right guy. Last two outings have been outstanding for Matthew, and he has been one of the anchors of this Cubs staff, that's for sure.
3 straight quality starts, Coom, including a no decision in Philadelphia last Monday. He went 6 innings, giving up just 1 earned run, 8 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Matthew Boyd feels at home at Wrigley Field. He's 5-0 here at the friendly confines this season with a 2.40 ERA. And the conditions favoring the pitchers once again this afternoon. Wind blowing in at nearly 10 miles per hour, 64 degrees and cloudy. The game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Your trusted local experts. It's been much cooler than we expected when we looked at the forecast earlier in the week for this series here at home against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we were expecting it to be, probably 10 degrees warmer at least, and much better conditions. It's been overcast. It rained almost the entire game yesterday. Not hard, no delays, but still rained, and the wind was blowing in when it was blowing. Today the wind blowing in, but not very hard, so could be a little bit better day to hit today, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm ready for summer to kick in anytime.
I'm with you. O'Neal Cruz, left-handed hitting center fielder, stands in for Pittsburgh. The left-hander Matthew Boyd takes the mound. He works on the third base side of the rubber. Boyd rocks back, high leg kick and pitch. And we are underway as Boyd starts off Cruz with a strike, a sinking fastball at 93 miles per hour. Boyd on the season 5-3 with a 2.89 ERA. Here's the pitch. And that's inside to Cruz, 1-1. This is Boyd's 14th start of the year. Game 3 of a 4-game set between the Cubs and Pirates. As Boyd works his motion, here comes the 1-1. Cruz looks at a ball up high, 2-1, a slider that missed.
Boyd will throw a lot of pitches. For a guy that throws a lot of two-seamers, he throws them at the top of the zone. That last slider, a good pitch, didn't get called, but at the top of the zone.
Cruz fouls it back, 2-2 the count. Cubs took the opener of this 4-game series on Thursday, a 3-2 win behind veteran right-hander Jameson Taillon. As Boyd is ready, here comes the 2-2. Inside to Cruz. Full count, a curve that missed. Yesterday, an extra inning affair. Pirates beat the Cubs 2-1 in 10. Cubs went 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position in yesterday's ball game. That's rare. Cubs hitting nearly .290 with runners in scoring position this season. The payoff pitch, called, strike 3. As Boyd freezes Cruz with a fastball, 1 away.
Cruz looking for a breaking pitch, and this is a fastball at the bottom of the zone. First pitch he threw at the knees. Cruz not expecting that 93-mile-an-hour heater for strike 3.
So here comes Andrew McCutchen with 1 down in the top of the first. Cubs and Pirates, right-handed batter. Boyd deals, called strike on the outside corner, a fastball.
First inning powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
The 0-1 inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on McCutchen, the Pirates' designated hitter. Hitting at .258 on the year. 6 home runs, 25 RBIs. Boyd kicks and deals. High and inside again, 2-1.
I just missed. He went with fastball inside, then changeup inside to McCutchen. And both of those just missed the inside corner.
The 2-1 delivery is hit high in the air. Deep left center field. Happ going back near the wall. He looks up. It's gone. Andrew McCutchen goes deep. Pirates strike first. 1-0 Pittsburgh here in the first.
Third pitch in a row from Boyd inside to McCutchen. Fastball, changeup, and then I think the last pitch, I don't think it was a fastball, but it was inside. It's a changeup, and it stays. They want it in. It stays in the middle of the plate, and McCutchen tees off on it, hit it into the wind, and it ended up about 2 rows deep in the left field bleachers.
McCutchen's 18th career home run here at Wrigley Field, the most by an active opponent. Earlier this week, he passed Roberto Clemente for 3rd place on the Pirates' all-time home run list. Willie Stargell first, Ralph Kiner second. Here's the pitch. That's outside to the batter, Brian Reynolds. The Pirates' right fielder, a switch hitter, batting from the right side.
Speed Gun today, powered by Xfinity. Get seriously powerful Wi-Fi with Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Reynolds looks at ball 2 inside, a fastball that missed from left-hander Matthew Boyd. Now the 2-0 delivery. Chop foul to the left. A 372-foot drive to left center for McCutchen. Pirates with a 1-0 lead. Here with a 1 away in the top of the first. The 2-1. Reynolds takes a ball outside. 3-1 the count now.
Boyd still trying to get a little feel for his pitches. That last 2-seamer down and away and just ran off the plate. It was a good pitch, but a lot of run on that 2-seam fastball. Just missed the corner.
The pitch. Pulled foul out of play off to the left by Reynolds. Full count.
And that's the second changeup that he's thrown in the middle of the plate. One ended up in the bleachers, and that one inside, good hittable pitch. Hooked foul.
The payoff pitch by Boyd is hit in the air down the right field line, slicing foul out of play.
It's always the case, when you're playing in a big league ball game and you're the pitcher. It's always, this is from the hitter's perspective. I'm not talking about being a pitcher, but I always felt like right away early in the game, does the pitcher have the feel for his pitches right away, or is he still trying to find his release point?
Slow moving grounder, left of the mound, fielded by Boyd. The underhand toss to Bush at first for the out, 2 away.
And what I mean by that is just, are you going to get some really good pitches to hit in the middle of the strike zone? Because they're still trying to figure, okay, my 2-seamer's running this much, so I got to throw it here to change up. Do I have feel for it, or am I throwing it over the middle of the plate? So those are things you look for as a hitter right away. At least I did. And, and my at-bat would warrant what I was seeing with the guys in front of me.
The Pirates cleanup man, Nick Gonzalez at the plate. Right-handed batter. Boyd deals. Fouled away. Out of play off to the right. Second deck.
Now that's a perfect two-seamer, right? That's the perfect fastball. Middle of the plate. As the hitter, it's strike, strike, strike. Good hittable pitch. When it's in the hitting zone, it's right on the outside corner.
Here's the 0-1. Fouled away again. Second deck off to the right. 0-2 on Gonzalez. So what's that balance as a hitter between being aggressive and being patient when you're trying to figure out what the pitcher's got?
Yeah, I think you got to pay close attention. You really do. To me, in my first at bat, I wanted to see pitches, especially if I didn't know a guy real well. But boy, if he was throwing balls in the middle of the plate, you got to be aggressive and hit.
Here's the 0-2. Just tapped foul at the plate by Gonzalez. Had a piece of a changeup from Boyd.
Nice change there, down and away. And it's, first 7, 8, 10 pitches, 12 pitches. You're feeling your way around, and now he's made some really good pitches to Gonzalez.
Boyd kicks and fires. Chopped to short, fielded on a high hop by Swanson. Overhand throw across in time to get Gonzalez. That ends the top half of the first inning, but not before the Pirates strike first on the home run by McCutchen. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Cubs bat in the bottom of the first.
It's the time. Just like Lake Weekends. Yingling, official beer of the Cubs radio network. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer everyone should have. It eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat to achieve perfection. Order one now on chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Ian Happ gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. 25-year-old right-hander Mike Burrows starts Happ off with a ball outside. Last of the first here at Wrigley. Pittsburgh with a 1-0 lead over the Cubs. Happ, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. The next pitch is way inside, almost hit Happ. 2-0 the count. So Burrows making his fifth start of the season. He's 1-1, Coom, with an ERA of 5. What should we know about this guy?
One thing about Burrows, he's got a good arm, that's for sure. Mid-90s fastball.
Happ swings, pulls one, foul off to the right. Just foul behind the first base bag. 2-1.
Heads up, Phil. Phil Cuzzy, the first base umpire, doing a little cha-cha-cha to get out of the way. That's sizzling. And it's following him, too, right? He goes into foul territory. Where's that ball going? It's hooking in foul territory.
The 2-1. Happ looks at a strike.
Pretty good job, though, by Phil getting out of the way of that one.
95-mile-per-hour heater. 2-2 the count. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Burrows gets Happ with a changeup, 1 away.
Well, Burrows, to finish our thought about Burrows, good fastball, mid-90s. He will switch from what I'm seeing now from where he pitches on the rubber. Now, what I saw him this morning was him pitching on the far third base side of the rubber. Now, we'll see if he switches over with the right-handed hitter up, Suzuki on deck. But crossfire fastball, slider, curveball, and his second best pitch, though, is the change, and that's what he got Happer with.
Kyle Tucker looks at a slider low and inside. The next pitch is tapped foul at the plate. A fastball on the outer edge. 1-1 the count. Pirates playing the infield back with the exception of the third baseman Hayes, in line with the bag on the edge of the infield grass. The 1-1. Tucker, a big rip and a miss. 1-2. A slow-moving breaking ball from Burrows.
We had Hayes playing on the edge of the grass. I really don't know why you would play Tuck that close to home plate. I just don't see that.
Pitch low, 2-2.
Unless they've just had issue with guys, hitting that little either jam shot or that cue shot off the end of the bat rolling towards third, and they're just sick of seeing it. And now you start defending it a little bit. But, Tuck he's swinging.
Here comes the 2-2. That's low and inside. A change that missed, full count. And with 2 strikes, Hayes now backing up. And with the infield alignment of the Pirates right now, they're essentially vacating the normal third base defensive spot. Ground ball hit up the middle, and this is through into center field for a base hit. I don't know if that hit off the glove of Kiner Falefa or the second baseman Gonzalez. Both of them were attempting to field it, but Tucker's got an infield single with 1 down here in the bottom of the first.
Tuck gets his pitch away and hooks it back through the middle, just to the first base side of the mound, and that's kind of in that spot where, nobody's really at. It's the one spot, with the shift, there's no one get to that ball. Both shortstop and second baseman try, but best they could do is just knock it down.
Seiya Suzuki at the plate and looks at a strike on the outside corner, 0-1, a 95-mile-per-hour heater from the right-hander Burrows, who's still working on the first base side of the rubber.
Just looking, so from the last start that I watched his film to now, he has moved to the other side of the rubber. And that's all about angles of his pitches. So obviously they think this gives him more of a chance probably to throw that breaking ball and get a better angle to throw it for a strike and have more command of it, I would guess.
Suzuki looked at a breaking ball for a strike. The next pitch is a swing and miss as he waves at a slider off the outside. Strike 3. So 2 away. Tucker at first. He'll bring up the Cubs cleanup man, Pete Crow Armstrong.
Burrows does a good job of getting on top of that last slider with his fingers. And what that does then is it gets really good downward rotation along with the ball going across the strike zone, I'd say out in front.
Righty-lefty matchup with Tucker at first. And now the pitch. Crow Armstrong hits a high fly ball. Right center field. It's playable. Reynolds under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3 as Tucker is stranded on the bases. After 1, it's Pittsburgh with a 1-0 lead over the Cubs. On the score in the Southwest Airlines Cup.
Second inning is brought to you by Seaglass Wines, official partner of the Cubs, bringing the California coast to you wherever you are. Here's Zach Zaidman.
Nice to have Matt Spiegel along today here at Wrigley Field. 1-0 Pirates, top of the second. Key Brian Hayes looks at a ball outside from Matthew Boyd.
Spiegs, welcome to the booth, buddy. It's great to have you here at Wrigley.
Now the 1-0, and Hayes takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Sun came out right when you said my name.
You bring the sunshine, brother. There, it's what we knew.
You brought the donuts, least I could do.
Here's the 1-1. Dribbled foul off to the right by Hayes, 1-2 the count. Game 3 of a 4-game set between the Cubs and Pirates. Matt did a wonderful job on the pregame show. You'll hear Matt in the postgame show and throughout the game in a variety of different roles. The 1-2. Line drive, smoke to deep right. Going back Tucker, and he makes a backhanded catch right near the garage doors on the track for out number 1.
If you're the Pittsburgh Pirates and you see Hayes hit a ball like that the other way, you got to smile and go, okay, that's what we're looking for him to spray the ball. He's got some pop in his bat. But if he's covering the strike zone like that, good things are going to happen for Ke'Bryan Hayes.
1-0 Pirates, one down, top of the second. Henry Davis at the plate, and the Pirates catcher looks at a slow-moving breaking ball that floats into the zone for a strike, 0-1. Boyd working quickly. He rocks back and deals. That pitch inside, 1-1 the count, missed with a fastball. Cubs wearing their traditional home white uniforms with the blue pinstripes, the iconic Cubs logo on the front left part of the jersey. Here's the 1-1. That's low. 2-1 now on Davis. Blue numerals and lettering on the back of the jersey, outlined in red. Blue caps, blue socks, a red C on the front of the cap. Boyd wearing white and blue shoes today. Here's the 2-1. Outside. 3 balls and a strike to count on Davis.
Now you got to be careful here with Davis at the plate. He's got pop in his bat. You want to make sure you don't throw him just cookie inside.
The pitch. Breaking ball over.
Yeah, good change-up. Yeah, that was a good change by Boyd. 3-1 change, outstanding pitch. Davis just took it.
So it's a full count. The payoff pitch. Foul back off the screen by Davis. Pirates wearing traditional gray uniforms, jerseys and pants. Black numerals and lettering on the front and back, outlined in gold. Black batting helmets with a gold letter P on the front. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Davis fouls it back again. Davis wearing gold shoes. Pirates have black socks, sleeves, wristbands. The colors of the Pittsburgh City flag, black and gold. Here comes the 3-2. Davis pops it up on the infield right side behind the bag. It's Bush fighting the sun, and he makes the catch. Davis is retired, 2 away.
Good back and forth sequence by Boyd. An excellent job of pitching. He got behind in the count, but then the back and forth, the 3-1 pitch, change up for a strike. Then he went back and forth with the fastball, finally got Davis to pop it up. It's a nice job by Matthew.
So 2 away, top 2. Pittsburgh 1, Cubs nothing, and the batter is the first baseman Jared Triolo. The uniform descriptions are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint to the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Boyd delivers, and Triolo fouls it out of play. Second deck off to the right, 0-1.
Triolo played in game 1, came into the game late in the game yesterday, and now today playing first base.
Here's the pitch. Inside, 1-1, a fastball that missed.
I think this Pirates group with position players, I think their pitching staff's in pretty good shape. Bullpen has done its job. Position player-wise, that ball foul off to the right. They're trying to figure it out, and their guys are playing different positions. And you and I were talking, Z, before the game. You had asked about their lineup and the fluctuation of where guys are hitting and moving, other than the first 3. Cruz is their player that they're hoping turns into a star player. McCutchen, been around the game a long time, and Reynolds, a very good player also. But other than that, everybody kind of shifting around.
Boyd misses with a breaking ball outside. 2-2 now on Triolo.
And I think when you got a young group like this, you're trying to put them in a position matchup-wise to help them. And that's what we're seeing in this series.
The 2-2 fouled off the netting to the right by Triolo. Yeah, Pirates have won 6 of their last 8 ball games, including yesterday's affair. And the Bucs bullpen, you talked about them a little bit, much maligned for most of the season. The Pirates bullpen has allowed just 3 runs during those 8 games.
Yeah, lately they've been throwing the ball well. We saw it, we saw it yesterday, that's for sure.
Here's the 2-2. Outside.
Cubs did, when you face a guy, and I'll say this, when you face a guy that's elite like Skenes is, and he's one of the best in the game, period, if he's not the best.
The 3-2. Another pop-up, shallow right. Horner going back, coming in Tucker. It's the right fielder's ball, and Tucker makes the catch for out number 3. Middle 2 here at Wrigley. It's a 1-0 lead for the Pirates on The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
And the Cubs have teamed up for an online auction benefiting Project Main Street. Bid on game-used items and exclusive experience, like calling play-by-play for half an inning on Marquee Sports Network. The auction is live now through Sunday, June 22nd at 8 p.m. at cubs.com/auctions.
Speaks, thank you. Dansby Swanson fouls off the first pitch he sees from Mike Burrows off to the left. 0-1. Pirates with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the second inning. Andrew McCutcheon, a solo shot in the first off Matthew Boyd. Burrows throws a slider off the outside for a ball. 1-1 the count now on Swanson, hitting at .238 on the year. The next pitch is low and outside again. Another slider that missed. 2 balls and a strike. In the outfield, the Pirates playing Swanson straight away as Burrows kicks and deals. Pop foul out of play off to the right by Swanson. 2-2. The defensive alignment sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at fitzgeraldequipment.com.
And our reviews in this game sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Second opinion's always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Swanson swings and misses. Strike 3. Burrows gets Swanson with a changeup, 1 away.
Well, and that shows a lot of confidence in that changeup, and it's the good arm action we talked about as he goes right on right. Usually that is not the case for a right-handed pitcher to throw many changeups to a right-handed hitter, except the ball kind of fades back towards the hitter, but excellent pitch.
Michael Bush at the plate, looks at a ball inside, 1-0. Burrows, 6'1", 200 pounds, native of Waterford, Connecticut. An 11th round pick in 2018. The pitch up high to Bush, 2-0. Debuted last year, 1 game. It was against the Yankees. Paul Skenes started. Burrows came in relief and picked up his first big league win as Bush fouls it back over our heads, 2-1.
And Burrows a New York kid, so how about that, right?
Yeah, grew up just north of New York in Connecticut.
Right. So when you grow up, a quick drive from the ballpark in Yankee Stadium. It's
Bush
a big deal.
Lines one to right. Right there is Reynolds. Makes the catch, 2 away. Yeah, I'm sure he had a lot of friends and family at the game. And then this year, 4 starts, entering play with a record of 1-1 and an ERA of 5. His last start came Monday in Miami, and no decision, or I should say against Miami. 4 1/3 innings, 2 runs on 4 hits, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The start before that was really impressive as Carson Kelly digs in and dribbles one foul off to the right. 0-1. It was a win over Houston Coon. He went 5 1/3, did not allow a run, 5 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts. So it gives you an indication of the ability. The 0-1 is a called strike, slow-moving curveball that spun in the zone. 0-2 on Kelly. Injuries have slowed down Burrows' career, including Tommy John surgery in 2023. The 0-2. Called strike 3. A slider that freezes Kelly, who doesn't like the call by the home plate umpire, Clint Vondrack, but it ends the second inning.
Boomer is the dog. Did he look good? I just followed his pitch all the way. And there he is. Boomer's dad.
That was kind of a change from the everyday thing that we normally do as far as baseball cards are concerned.
Hey, I have a Labrador. Where's my card?
A little bit different, and it turned out to be a fun experience.
It was just when the camera crew tried to leave that there was a problem. You can't leave?
of siding in North America. James Hardy is proud to sponsor the Cubs. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Pirates 1, Cubs nothing. Top 3 at Wrigley Field, 68 degrees, partly cloudy, wind blowing in. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports Illinois. Bet like the pros and download the Circa Sports app today. Tommy Pham at the plate, right-handed batter. The left-hander Matthew Boyd works his motion, and the first pitch floats into the zone for a strike. 0-1. Pham on the year hitting at 197. Still looking for his first home run. Boyd kicks and deals. And Pham pulls one on the ground to short, fielded between the legs by Swanson. His throw across in time, 1 away.
Well, Pham really having a rough go. We're in the middle of June now, and he's got a lot of at-bats and just has not been able to get on track. And part of what you just saw there is hooking a lot of balls, not using the other side of the field. And, we've seen him do a lot of good through the years with the bat in his hand, and he is just scuffling this year.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa looks at a fastball for a strike from Boyd, 0-1. Kiner-Falefa, the number 9 hitter in the Pittsburgh order. The pitch. Inside, 1-1. Kiner-Falefa hitting at 294. He's got 1 home run, 15 RBIs. Boyd deals. That's in there for a strike. Curveball over, 1-2. Kiner-Falefa hits out of a crouch, open stance. The 1-2. He lunges and a changeup off the outside and misses. Strike 3, 2 away.
Nice pitch by Boyd. Goes a little backdoor hook and it ends up catching the outside corner. Good pitch. Falefa didn't look like he had much of a look at Boyd's pitches. He was kind of falling out of the box for 2 of the 3 pitches.
O'Neill Cruz at the plate. He looks at strike 1, a slider that spins into the zone, 0-1. You've got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. The 0-1 delivery to Cruz. Swing and a miss. And another slider, 0-2.
Who was the winner last night? Paulie?
Paulie won. Should he go first?
Doesn't matter.
I've got a Paul guess whenever you're ready, Zach.
Let's do it. Here's the 0-2. That's low on Cruz. Check swing. Did he go on appeal? No, says Dan Bellino, the crew chief at third.
His guess, 39,922. Sounds similar to his guess yesterday. I was listening.
The 1-2 pitch. Cruz takes a ball inside, 2-2. I guess I'll go 40,200. Boyd delivers the 2-2. Just missed outside. Fastball, full count with Cruz at the plate.
I'll jump in and go 40,500. Going a little higher.
We'll get Coombs' guess in a moment. Here comes the payoff pitch. Cruz chops one to third. Coming in, Shaw fielding across the body throw. In time to get the speedy Cruz for out number 3. And this slow down in action in the 3rd inning is brought to you by Izervay.
The biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
Visit IBJI.com for locations.
Nico Horner's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on Deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com as Nico Horner looks at a curveball for a strike to begin the last of the third from right-hander Mike Burrows. Pittsburgh with a 1-0 lead. The next pitch on the way, and Nico looks at a ball low. 1-1 the count. Andrew McCutchen, a first-inning home run to put the Pirates ahead. Nico waits. That pitch low. 2-1, a slider from Burrows.
I will make my guess of 39,650.
Nico swings and fouls it away off to the right, out of play. 2-2. So all the guesses are in the Vinnie's Beverage Depot attendance game. Good luck, men. It's always highly competitive.
Almost sounded like you meant that. Good luck.
I said almost. Nico waits. The 2-2. Line drive over the head of a leaping shortstop, Kiner Falefa, in a left field for a base hit.
Second hit of the ball game for the Cubs. Nico gets a little off-speed pitch and hooks this ball just over the shortstop's head, Kiner Falefa, and ends up with a base knock. Now let's see. Cubs with the leadoff guy on. If they could do a little good and move some runners along, and situational hit a little bit today. Yesterday it was a little bit of a struggle. See how they do today.
Nico, big lead off of first. Matt Shaw at the plate. He looks at a ball up high. 1-0 the count.
Like Nico hopping off the bag as pitch was being delivered. See if he's going to try to take second base.
Triolo holding on Nico at first. The pitch, swing and a miss by Shaw. 1-1. That was a fastball at 95 miles per hour. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. A long set, the 1-1 delivery. Shaw pops it up. Shallow right, angling toward the line. It's the second baseman, Gonzalez. I guess he lost the ball in the sun, and it drops harmlessly on the side track for a strike. Cubs catch a break.
Boy, the ball's got to be caught, and Gonzalez goes on, and then he's running for 5 or 6 steps, and he has no idea where the ball's at. Triolo, the first baseman, just runs away from the play after a little bit. And really, that's probably the first baseman's ball where it landed. But yeah, Cubs do catch a break there. Matty Shaw with new life.
1-2 the count with Shaw at the plate. Right-handed batter stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch, uses a toe tap. A long set by Burrows, throw to first. Horner gets back standing up.
Big hole on the right side of the diamond, as you'd expect. Gonzalez playing up the middle in double play depth.
Shaw hitting at 232 on the year. Nico goes. The pitch outside, and the ball is dropped by the catcher Davis. No throw, stolen base for Nico. That's his 14th.
Well, you knew after yesterday's ball game, if the Cubs had the opportunity, they were going to push it a little bit today. You know, you gotta try to make something happen when you didn't score some runs and haven't been last few days. Nico steals second base.
The 2-2. Shaw grounds one to first, fielded by Triolo. His only play is to go to the bag. He steps on it. Out number 1, Shaw's retired, and Horner advances to third on the play. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talk Cubs with us on Spiegel and Holmes, 2 to 6 afternoons on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Cubs with a scoring chance. We are in the bottom of the third inning. Pittsburgh 1, Cubs nothing. Horner at third, 1 away. Ian Happ at the plate, infield in. The pitch outside, 1-0.
Now both teams struggled to score runs yesterday. Pittsburgh is in a drought of just scoring runs, period. So they are definitely playing the infield in. They're going to try to cut down Horner at the plate. He should be going on contact.
Happ looks at a strike, a fastball, 1-1. In the outfield, they're playing Happ the other way. Cruz, the center fielder, shading him toward left center.
And Cruz shallow. How shallow? That's very shallow.
Happ swings and fouls it out of play. Second deck off to the left, 1-2. A stolen base earlier by Horner, a reminder, another Cubs steal. And steals are powered by a Turo tire.
Ian with 18 home runs against his hometown team. Hitting almost 320 also.
Happ calls time, steps out of the box. Those are big numbers for Ian. The wind is blowing in, though, at the moment at Wrigley. The pitch. Fly ball hit to left. This should bring home a run. Caught by Pham. Tagging and coming home. Horner, he scores standing up ahead of the throw. And the Cubs tie up the ball game. 1-1 Cubs and Pirates, thanks to the sacrifice fly to left by Ian Happ.
Good at bat for Ian. He gets his pitch inside and just shoots it the other way. But excellent AB. Pham, actually, this ball carries probably deeper than he thought it would. Kind of threw this ball somewhat flat-footed from left field where he didn't get behind this plate all that well at all, but still made the play close at the plate as he threw a nice one-hop throw to the plate. Ian just beat the throw.
Kyle Tucker swings and misses at a changeup from Burrows, 0-1. RBIs by Cubs batters are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. As Tucker takes ball one inside, 1-1. Burrows facing home plate. Now he winds and deals. Low, 2-1.
See if Tuck gets a good pitch to hit here on 2-1. So far, they've been a little, I wouldn't say pitching around him, but being very cautious pitching to Tuck.
Curveball misses low. It's 3-1.
Sure, they've seen him do enough damage where you're like, yeah, he'll try the other guys. This guy's a pretty good player.
Well, the other guys in the lineup are
they're doing a job, no doubt. They've picked it up.
A 3-1, an awkward swing and miss.
They've been put in a really good position because of the guy hitting in front of him. Kyle Tucker has had a great impact on this Cubs lineup.
Hitting at 276 on the year, 13 home runs, 43 RBIs. It's a full count. Tucker digs in. Burrows works his motion. A ground ball pulled through into right field for a base hit. Second single of the game for Tucker.
Base hit between Gonzalez and Triolo, and this ball is hooked on the ground. And Triolo does not go after this ball. I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't try to go after. I don't know if he's having a hard time seeing the ball off the bat right now at first base, which very well could be. But he didn't go after the pop-up, and now he didn't go after that ground ball.
Seiya Suzuki at the plate. The pitch. Way outside, off the glove of the catcher Davis. It rolls all the way to the backstop, and advancing to second on the play, Kyle Tucker.
That's a wild pitch. Looked like a little breaking ball that Burrow held on to too long and bounced it in the left-handed batter's box.
So 1-0 the count. With Suzuki at the plate, he struck out swinging in the first. Tucker represents the go-ahead run at second. The pitch. Seiya swings, drills one deep down the left field line, but hooking foul. It did not have home run distance. 1-1.
That's a big at bat for the Cubs. You know, the one thing when you start scoring 2-out runs, it can be deflating for a team over there that's been scuffling. It's be a big swing of the bat for the Cubs if Seiya can drive in this run.
Seiya looks at a ball low. It's 2-1, a curve that missed. Thursday, the Cubs did not have a single at-bat with a runner in scoring position. They hit 2 home runs, one of them by Suzuki. Now the 2-1 delivery. Seiya hits a line drive to right. Reynolds comes in, now backs up and makes the catch for out number 3. Tucker stranded at second, but not before the Cubs tie it up on a sac fly by Ian Happ. 1-1 Cubs.
Cubs. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
The Out-of-Town Scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now. Instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. 11-day games, including the Reds, up big right now on the Tigers. They lit up Jack Flaherty. Score there is 7-1, Zach.
Speaks thanks. Andrew McCutchen leads off the top of the fourth by looking at a fastball inside, 1-0.
Tyler Stevenson with a grand slam. Ellie De La Cruz and Spencer Steer with a home run as well.
The next pitch is up high, so 2-0, a curveball that missed.
Marlins up on the Nationals 3-1. Jansen Junk has thrown more than 4 as the bulk reliever. 4 games at night, including Giants-Dodgers, now tied atop the National League West.
Speaks thank you. McCutchen fouls it off the netting to the right, just above the on-deck circle, along the first base line, 2-1.
And his fourth inning, sponsored by Wintrust, home of the exclusive Cubs debit card. Member FDIC, EHL lender.
Cubs 1, Pirates 1 here in the fourth. The pitch. Called strike, fastball, down the middle, 2-2. McCutchen got the scoring started in the first. A solo shot to left center field. Cubs tied it up in the last frame as McCutchen swings and misses at a slider, strike 3. 1 away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Nice pitch by Boyd. This one, he drops down a little bit and gets this one sweeping across the zone more than getting downward tilt. And it starts out away and ends up down and into McCutchen. Great pitch by Boyd to get the punch out.
Here's Brian Reynolds, switch hitter batting for the right side against the lefty Boyd. The first pitch, a breaking ball that's pounded foul into the ground, 0-1. It's clear that it took Boyd maybe the first inning to get a feel for his pitches. He's got them now. Boyd kicks back and deals. Outside, 1-1.
Wind's still blowing in. As we got rid of the clouds, it turned out to be a beautiful day, but wind's still blowing in from center field.
Reynolds taps it foul again at the plate, 1-2. But at least we finally see some blue in the sky overhead. It's been a while.
Some sunshine.
Yeah.
How about that? We didn't see any of it in Philly, right? And where were we before that? Detroit. We had one day in Detroit that was really nice. Nice sunny day.
The 1-2. That's inside to Reynolds. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm ready for some sunny days here at the Friendly Confines.
Yeah, anytime summer wants to arrive, as you've
Absolutely.
mentioned over the last couple of days, I'm all in. I think most of Chicago is, right?
Ooh,
Here's the 2-2.
So.
Fouled off the netting to the right by Reynolds. So they'll do it again. The only people who aren't complaining, I'm guessing, are the pitchers, because these conditions have favored the pitchers, especially the wind blowing in as we speak here at the Friendly Confines. The 2-2. Reynolds hits one down the right field line, slicing way foul out of play. Reynolds hit a comebacker to Boyd in the first. He's 0 for 1. And now the 2-2. Hit foul on the ground off to the left. Good battle going on here.
Yeah, Reynolds. We were talking about this Pirates club struggling on offense. And, Reynolds hitting .228. We're not accustomed to seeing that. This guy has always been a very good hitter.
The pitch. Reynolds loops one into shallow center, coming in and making the catch. Pete Crow Armstrong. 2 away.
Another good off-speed pitch. Had Reynolds out in front, even though he keeps his hands back and barrels this ball up. Still out in front, hit a line drive, but right at Pete.
So that'll bring up the cleanup man, Nick Gonzalez, the Pirates' second baseman. He grounded out to short in the first, 0 for 1. Boyd delivers, Gonzalez swings, and it's a high fly ball deep left center field. Crow Armstrong at the track near the wall. He's got room and makes the catch. for out number 3. Makes it look so smooth out there in center. Middle 4, Cubs 1, Pirates 1 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Pete Crow Armstrong here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Running late? There's no excuse for...
Wow. Old school D-backs jersey. This was our alternate jersey that we wore on Saturdays. I was the first team to wear the new colors. They called it Sedona Red. Don't mess up that color. Every time I wore this jersey, I would wear the high socks, black jersey, black hat. I just thought it was a really smooth look, and this is one that I'll never forget.
RBIs, Zach Zaidman.
Pete Crow Armstrong swings and misses at a changeup from Mike Burrows to begin the last of the fourth speaks.
Just 9 have 50 or more. Pete Alonso's first with 63, but 2 of those 9 are Cubs, PCA and Say.
A ground ball through into right field past a diving Gonzalez for a base hit. So Pete Crow Armstrong begins the 4th inning with a single. He represents the go-ahead run for the Cubs at first. And it'll bring up Dansby Swanson. 1-1 game. Cubs and Pirates here in the last of the 4th.
And how about this read? Spiegel and Holmes talk Cubs baseball in Chicago sports every weekday from, what is it, Matt? 2 to 6?
That's right.
2 to 6, yep, on 670 The Score and the Odyssey up. And it's great to have Spiegs here. I should have let you read your own. That would have been funny, right? Great to have you here, Matty. Always good, buddy.
Thanks, pal. This is a great little sidelight from the day job. What an honor.
Dansby Swanson looks at a ball outside. 1-0 the count. Crow Armstrong jumping off the first base bag. A long set by Burrows. He kicks and delivers. And Swanson fouls it back off the screen. 1-1.
I would think Pete will be off and running here soon. Burrows is slow to the plate with a big leg kick. And I would not expect Pete to be there much longer. He should be able to steal second base if he gets even a decent jump.
Can't miss him. He's wearing bright red shoes today. Throw to first. Crow Armstrong dives back in safely.
I think he's adopted the fluorescent red color. And then some.
He's a trendsetter when it comes to style. Time called by Swanson.
We didn't bring this up yesterday, but there was something that was really cool here in the stands yesterday that I saw. I saw like 2 10-year-old kids that were here yesterday, and I believe they were in the bleachers, which is something in itself.
PCA goes the pitch, swing and a miss. The throw to second, nowhere near in time. Stolen base for Pete Crow Armstrong. That's his 23rd. And now the Cubs have the go-ahead run in scoring position with Swanson at the plate on a 1-2 count.
We said Pete wasn't going to be at first long, and Burrow's slow to the plate. And Pete steals this base easily. This could have been one of those that really didn't even need a throw. And now you got to think about possibly if Burrow stays this slow to the plate, he'd steal third base.
The pitch. Swanson hits a high fly ball down the right field line, and it is slicing out of play. Did not have home run distance, 1-2.
But getting back to yesterday, there were some kids. There were 2 kids in the outfield in the bleachers yesterday. that, they're all decked out in their Cubs gear, but they took their hat off, their Cubs hat, and they had their hair bleached white with the stars in it, like Pete had at the beginning of spring training. And I just started laughing. We never did get to bring it up on the air yesterday, but that was just funny. And that just goes to show you the impact that he is having on Cub fans, and he's playing incredibly well. And he's a great young guy and very cordial and very respectful to everybody around the park. But, man, he can play, too, and the kids are appreciating what he is bringing to the table. All of the package.
The pitch to Swanson, swung on it, missed, strike 3. As Burrows gets Swanson with a changeup, one away. I just am amazed that kids today can come home with that kind of hairstyle or convince the parents to do that.
Yeah,
that's the power of Pete.
I don't disagree with you, but I think there's, that's something that when a little kid is watching ball games day after day, as a little check swing foul ball off the bat of Michael Bush, 0-1. That is, there are worse things than really being a big baseball fan as a little kid and wanting to emulate, your favorite player. And heck, Pete's only about 10 years older than some of those kids. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Ground ball hit to second, fielded cleanly by Gonzalez, his throw to first in time to get Bush. 2 away, moving to third on the play, Pete Crow Armstrong, and it'll bring up Carson Kelly.
Now the Cubs once again need a big 2-out hit off the bat of Kelly. Game tied at 1, and that's the one thing there for a while when the Cubs were scoring 6, 7, 8 runs a ball game. It was the 2-out hit that was just crushing to the opposing team. And see if Cubs can get one here off the bat of Carson Kelly.
The pitch. Called strike on the outside corner, a fastball at 95 miles per hour. Kelly did not like that call.
No, his ball's off the plate away, and, usually the catcher gets a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Not today. Kelly got punched out in the first at bat, borderline pitch, and now that one.
Here's the 0-1. That's a ball, but that appeared to be in the strike zone along the outside edge.
Okay, even. Now he can start the at bat.
At the bottom of the zone, 95
had
mile per
all
hour
of
heater.
the strike zone. All of it. Yeah.
That would confuse me as a hitter, especially a catcher. The 1-1, a swing and a miss. 1 and 2, another 95 mile per hour heater, kind of in the same area. We laugh, but I mean, it changes the program as a hitter.
Well, I just, for me, what happened is he called the first one. He knew he missed it. Then he made it up, and now, now you're back to even again.
All right. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3, changeup, fooling Kelly. Crow Armstrong stranded at third. After 4, still tied, 1-1, Cubs and Pirates. Matt Spiegel will join you for the 5th next on The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to be the judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
We got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
I like a steak, no vegetables. No vegetables? No vegetables. No, is it straight protein? Yeah.
Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
Back live at Wrigley Field. We are coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. We are tied at 1. Entering the top of the 5th inning, Matthew Boyd has been terrific since giving up the home run to Andrew McCutchen, the second at-bat of the game. Brian Hayes set to lead off the 5th. First pitch from Boyd is a curveball at the bottom inside corner of the zone for a strike. Since giving up that home run, Boyd has not allowed a base runner. Second pitch to Hayes is low for a ball, so that would be 11 straight. It's gotten out 12. Of course, members of the Pirates, the only one to reach is McCutchen with that home run. The 1-1 to Hayes is fouled off to the right side into the upper deck. Ron Coomer, Matthew Boyd has settled in quite nicely. Gave up a deep drive last inning from Nick Gonzalez, but PCA grabbed it on the warning track. 1-2 now the count to Hayes. That one hit on the ground towards Dansby Swanson. He grabs it comfortably, couple of hops, throw over. 1 away here to start the 5th.
Yeah, for most starting pitchers, the first inning is always one of those, feel-out periods of making sure, taking your stuff from the bullpen to the game, and the adrenaline of the game itself is always, an interesting discussion for everybody to do. But it's always one of those things in the first inning. Do you have your best stuff or not, and your location?
Henry Davis hits the first pitch high in the air into left, and Ian Happ comes in, grabs that, quickly 2 away here in the 5th. It should also be said that Andrew McCutchen's pretty good. He's allowed to be good, and as Zach mentioned, that's one of the guys who's hit homers against the Cubs more than anybody. He's 3rd on the active list with 32 home runs against the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Boyd threw 3 pitches in a row kind of in the same spot. The last one, he was inside fastball, inside changeup, then wanted to change up away, and it ended up inner half and didn't stay in the ballpark.
Jared Triolo takes a fastball for a strike. The only active players with more homers than McCutchen against the Cubs, Paul Goldschmidt and Eugenio Suarez. That is it. The 0-1 to Triolo is in there again. 0-2 now, the count.
All 3 of those guys have hit a lot of home runs against a lot of teams. When you're on the all-time list for a franchise like the Pirates, and I believe he is 3rd.
He is.
That's all you need to know. McCutchen has been a very good player for a long, long time, an MVP.
The 0-2 to Triolo is peeled foul off to the right side. They'll reset and do that again. Yeah, McCutchen is one of those guys mentioned early this year by Pete Crow Armstrong as one of his favorites growing up. You can kind of see why. Here's the 0-2 again. Triolo hits that one high in the air and deep towards center, but PCA's got a beat on it just shy of the track. Beats the sun and makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Matthew Boyd. He is rolling. Middle of the 5th, we go to the bottom of the inning. It is 1-1 here on the Score and the Xfinity.
Let's go places.
Nico Horner steps in against Mike Burrows of the Pirates. First pitch is taken outside. By the way, the first out of the inning was brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. And a reminder, as well, as Nico takes a 1-0 and hits it to left field above the leaping shortstop Kiner Falefa. And that is a second straight single to the left side from Nico Horner.
Yeah, this is almost a carbon copy of the one before that. Just the line drive bullet. And Kiner Falefa leaps, can't get to it, and Nico has his second hit of the game.
All opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. We'll see if the Cubs can draw one of those changes. Matt Shaw with a check swing at the first pitch from Burrows, and it is high. 1-0 the count.
Love to see Nico get a jump here and try to steal second base. He stole second and scored the Cubs' only run. Let's see if he can do it again.
Shaw takes one in the zone this time. Yeah, last time Shaw was up, he hit that pop fly off to the right that fell, and later in that at bat, Nico stole the base.
And you gotta take advantage of mistakes, and that was a mistake by the Pirates. See if he's going here. No.
1-1 from Burrows, swung on hard and missed by Shaw. Cubs run the bases exceptionally well as a team, not just stolen bases, but extra bases taken. The stat you can find on Baseball Savant, they're among the best at that. Matt Shaw with a check swing there. But the home plate umpire, Clint Vondrack, says he went around, and that'll be a strikeout for Burrows.
He had no appeal. Vondrack just called it himself behind home plate. Shaw thought they were going to appeal, but he definitely went. Easy call for Vondrack.
Here's Ian Happ. Was talking to Ryan Brazier in the clubhouse before the game. Guy who's been on some very good teams, Combe. And as Ian steps in, takes the first pitch outside, ahead in the count 1-0. Brazier said he doesn't think he's been on a team that fields the ball better and runs the bases better than this one.
Yeah, the one thing about the Cubs, there's some teams out there that are athletic, like the Cubs. But I don't know if there's another team that plays defense as well as the Cubs.
1-0 to Happ is skied to the left side. Ke'Bryan Hayes calling off the catcher. They're both there, though, and Henry Davis makes the catch to retire Ian Happ in foul territory, but he and Ke'Bryan Hayes continue to have some words after that one.
Well, Ke'Bryan Hayes called this ball, but obviously the catcher never heard him. And Davis stays camped under this ball. Both of them would have made this play an easy play, but that's one of those things when you're playing in a ballpark like Wrigley with 40,000 fans here, you know, as the infielder, and you come in that far, you got to look down and then pick the ball back up. You got to see if someone else is camped under it also. That was almost a big mistake.
Kyle Tucker now with 2 men away takes a first pitch strike from Burrows. Cubs got a leadoff single from Nico Horner. It's 1-1 here in the bottom of the fifth. Had a leadoff single from PCA last inning, and he was stranded. See if Kyle Tucker can do something with 2 out. Pitch swung on and missed. 0-2, Tucker now behind. Ryan Brazier, who I mentioned, a world champion with the Dodgers last year and with the Red Sox in 2018. High praise for that guy to say that about these Cubs, who could use a big hit from Tucker here. The 0-2 swung on and missed, and Burrows bears down and gets away from a leadoff single for the second inning in a row. It is 1-1 on Friday, June 20th. Cubs take on the Mariners at 1:20. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans will receive a Cubs Blue alternative jersey. Be here for it. Visit Cubs.com/tickets. Zach Zabin is back next, right here on The Score in the Southwest area.
And if you want a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the one-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref!
That's simple human sense.
Ask Reardon Insurance Group in Norwood Park if auto owners make sense for you.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, a leader in comprehensive orthopedic care. Visit ibji.com for locations.
Top of the 6th inning here at Wrigley Field. 1-1 game between the Cubs and Pirates. Tommy Pham leading off for Pittsburgh, and he looks at a strike on the outside corner. A changeup from Matthew Boyd, who's retired 14 in a row since giving up a first-inning home run to Andrew McCutchen. The next pitch inside, 1-1 the count on Pham. Boyd kicks and fires. Pulled foul out of play off to the left by Pham. 1-2. Game 3 of a 4-game set between the Cubs and Pirates. Cubs took the opener Thursday. Pirates won yesterday. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes the count on Pham. Pirates struck first. That home run by McCutchen in the first. Cubs tied it up in the third on a sacrifice fly by Ian Happ. Now the 2-2. Popped up, foul territory, off to the right, out of play. Kelly, the catcher, briefly gave chase. So the count remains 2-2 on Pham. Cubs are just 6-6 in the month of June. Here's the pitch. Dribbled foul off to the left as Pham just gets a piece of a changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the Cubs, 6 wins, no surprise. They've scored 39 runs and smacked 15 home runs. In the 6 losses, a very different story. Here's the 2-2 by Boyd. Fly ball hit foul out of play off to the right by Pham. In the 6 losses this month by the Cubs, just 7 runs scored and only 2 home runs. Been feast or famine for the offense since the month of June started. Here's the 2-2. Low, full count, changeup that missed. We got spoiled early on this season with the Cubs' fantastic offense. The 3-2. Outside ball 4. A change that missed, so Pham heads to first after drawing a walk to lead off the top half of the 6th inning.
Yeah, offense has had a little bit of a dry spell here as of late. They faced some really good pitching. That's one thing. And, if you thought they were going to continue scoring 7 runs a game, that's just not realistic either. So, right now the Cubs are in one of those periods where, they're just not quite scoring the runs that they would like to be scoring currently.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at the plate. Throw to first. Pham gets back standing up. Boyd has an excellent move to first.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique move to first base. Not the big leg kick that you are used to seeing from a left-hander. His foot stays close to the ground. Slide step pickoff throw.
Kiner-Falefa swings and misses at a fastball 0-1.
Boyd leading the league this season in pickoffs with 5 so far this season.
Pham at first, no one out here in the 6th inning. 1-1 game. Cubs and Pirates throw to first, and they picked off Pham. Tag applied by Michael Busch. On cue. 1 away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
He would probably have a few more also if, he threw a couple balls away that had pickoffs. So, that's number 6. He'd probably have 8 or 9. But, that's been the only issue with the pickoff move is occasionally he's thrown a ball a little erratic, but great pickoff move.
So that's 6 now on the year for Boyd as Kiner-Falefa looks at a curveball outside, 1-1. He passes Max Fried of the Yankees, the 1-1. Foul back off the screen.
chuckling with our broadcast partners next door to us. Bob Walk, longtime big league pitcher. He shook his head. He's like, I think that's a balk. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. It's an out. I know that.
Ground ball deep short fielded by Swanson on the backhand. Throw dug out beautifully at first by Bush. 2 away.
Great play by Dansby at short. He goes to the hole, gets to this ball, and without taking another step, a plant and a throw across his body, one hop, and a perfect throw by Dansby. When you're going to give the first baseman a throw down, you want to bounce it out in front of him a little bit. And this way it gives Michael Bush the chance to extend as far out as he can. And that helps get that out at first base. Nice play by Swanson.
O'Neill Cruz swings and misses at the first offering from Boyd. A slow-moving breaking ball, 0-1. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Cubs 1, Pirates 1. Lefty-lefty matchup as Boyd deals. And Cruz swings and misses at a slider, 0-2. This date in baseball history is brought to you by VillageofBedfordPark.com. Now's the time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. The pitch is low, 1-2 the count. I was looking at the Cubs game notes. This is an interesting one. In 1949, following a game here at Wrigley Field, former Cub, and at that point, current Philly first baseman Eddie Waitkus was shot by a fan at the team's hotel. Waitkus battled for his life, undergoing multiple surgeries. The 1-2, a swing and a tap foul at the plate by Cruz, but Waitkus, after undergoing those surgeries, recovered to continue playing Major League Baseball the following season.
Wow.
And that played a little bit of a role in the storyline for The Natural, the book and the movie.
Zach, the fan that shot him, was named Ruth Ann Steinhagen. Legendary story of Chicago baseball lore. Good stuff.
Unless you're the guy that gets shot.
Yeah, that could have been fun. The 1-2. Loop to third on the edge of the outfield grass, making a backhand catch is Matt Shaw along the line in fair territory for out number 3. Yeah, did he say good stuff?
Good story.
Oh,
Good
You're known for having a stoic presence on the field, Scorpio, since you're primarily focused on winning at all costs. But engaging in some playful competition and hyping up your team's traditional rivalry could infuse the game with a renewed sense of passion. Both teams will benefit from the fun, competitive spirit that will have fans glued to the scoreboard.
And let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Tie ball game, 1-1 here in Chicago. And speaking of Flight, Seiya with 17 home runs and 57 RBIs. A Flight would be good right about now, that being a baseball, in flight to the bleachers and left.
He did that in the opener on Thursday night, a 3-2 Cubs win over the Pirates. Pittsburgh won yesterday in extra innings, and as Kuhn mentioned, it's a 1-1 game here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Suzuki waits. Here's the 0-2. He fouls it back off the screen. Got a piece of a changeup.
Now, the Rawlings Flight good. The Flight by Yuengling later.
Like you're thinking.
Well, just, we're clarifying.
The pitch. Pop foul out of play by Suzuki off to the right.
That other tradition left with Harry.
Yes.
So we'll just leave it there. That's just the way it is, yeah.
And there was only one Harry.
Isn't that the truth?
That's why he's got a statue at the corner of Sheffield and Waveland. The pitch. Pop fly, shallow right. Now on the dirt. Wide of first. It's the first baseman, Triolo, who makes the catch as Suzuki pops out. One away here in the last of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Pete Crow Armstrong. Who's on Deck is brought to you by TimberTech, decking and railing, everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. But before PCA steps to the plate, Pirates manager Don Kelly is going to make a pitching change and bring in the left-hander, Mundelein native Ryan Borucki. We've got a pitching change here at Wrigley Field. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan. official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions.
That's my security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted a famous dog, so she told me to do it.
Tip of the cap, and now here we go. He gets Larry Walker, and here he is. He's going to face him right-handed. Why not? He looks like a catcher hitting. And now he's back to the left side, and a 2-out walk. So Walker reaches base after that first pitch that was like the flyby here right after the anthem.
Five and a third, 1 run on 5 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts today for Burrows. Wind blowing in on a partly cloudy day here at Wrigley Field. Pete Crow Armstrong due up. Cubs and Pirates are tied at 1. Pirates struck first, solo shot by Andrew McCutchen in the first. And then in the third, Ian Happ with a sacrifice fly to even the game up. PCA 1 for 2 this afternoon. He singled and stole a base in the fourth and ended up being stranded at third base to end the frame. So a lefty-lefty matchup. Hayes playing in at third, wide of the bag. Barucki kicks and fires. PCA bunts it foul behind the plate.
Well, it's never a bad idea for Pete to be getting on base because you know he'll be off and running, trying to steal second. Brian Hayes still playing in on the grass at third.
Barucki works on the third base side of the rubber. He kicks and fires, and this one is dribbled to third, fielded by Hayes. Strong throw across in time to get a hustling PCA for out number 2.
Ball hit right off the end of the bat. Little cue shot from Pete. And this ball takes the second hop and then goes right turn on Brian Hayes, and he has to reach out and field this ball because of the crazy spin, but he makes a nice play to get Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, very good fielding third baseman. So 2 down. Dansby Swanson stands in against the left-hander Barecki, who kicks and fires. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1, a slider. Swanson has struck out twice this afternoon. He's 0 for 2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Cubs have some activity in their bullpen. Veteran right-hander Ryan Presley has started warming up. Barucki deals. And that pitch is low. 1-2.
Pitch count for Boyd. Boyd at 93 pitches in the ball game, so that might give you a little indication of Matthews' day might be done. I did not see into the Cubs dugout when he came off the field after the top of the 6th.
Outside, 2-2 now on Swanson. Crowd acknowledging the ball boy. Gave a whole new set of baseballs to the home plate umpire.
He went and got the foul ball.
And that too. Pitch outside, so Swanson has worked a full count.
I just hope he never blows a hammy running like that. That would not be good.
So you don't like the technique?
No, it's just fine. He's been doing it for a while. And I do see him stretching before the game, so that's good.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. There's an art to it. Here's the payoff pitch. And a high fly ball hit to deep left field. Forget about it. Long gone. Halfway up the bleachers. Dansby Swanson gives the Cubs the lead. 2-1 over the Pirates here in the 6th inning.
Now the Cubs are in need of a big swing of the bat. And Dansby comes up with a big one here with 2 outs on a 3-2 pitch, and he crunches one to left. This is, I think it's a changeup down and away, but gets a lot of the plate, and I mean, he didn't miss this one. He hits this ball into the wind, halfway, as you said, Z, halfway up the bleachers and left. Big swing, 2-1 Cubs.
For Swanson, his 13th home run of the year as Michael Busch fouls one away. Second deck off to the left. A 377-foot drive by Swanson. Another hefty home run. Official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty strength. That's anything but ordinary. 2-1 Cubs here in the 6th. The pitch to Busch is a called strike. Fastball clocked at 95 miles per hour. The RBI, a reminder that RBIs by Cubs batters are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. Here's the 0-2. Low and outside to Busch. Yeah, you mentioned it. The wind is blowing in. That's an impressive shot by Swanson. Now the pitch. And a high fly ball hit to deep right center field. Cruz and Reynolds giving chase, and it's Reynolds who makes a sliding backhanded catch for out number 3. Nice play by the right fielder. That ends the 6th inning, but not before Swanson gives the Cubs the lead. 2-1 Cubs over the Pirates as we head to the 7th on The Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Listen to every Cubs game right.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these ourselves, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
The new man on the mound for the Cubs to begin the top half of the 7th inning. Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. And Andrew McCutchen will step to the plate. He's got the only hit of the ball game for Pittsburgh, a solo shot in the first off of Matthew Boyd. Presley kicks and delivers. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Pitching changes by the Cubs, sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Presley sets up high and delivers the pitch. McCutchen swings and loops a base hit in the left field. And that's just the second hit of the ball game for both McCutchen and the Pirates.
Yeah, this looks like a little off-speed pitch away to McCutchen, and that's his strength is now hitting mistakes, and he doesn't miss them, and that's another bullet off the bat of McCutchen.
So here comes Brian Reynolds, the right fielder, switch hitter, who will now bat from the left side against the right-hander Presley. Another quality start for Matthew Boyd. He went 6 innings, giving up just 1 hit. That home run by McCutchen. The pitch fouled away out of play off to the left by Reynolds, 0-1. 1 walk for Boyd, 3 strikeouts through 93 pitches, 63 for strikes. Quality starts by Cubs pitchers are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. Start your next project with quality paints from Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs. Here's the pitch. Reynolds fouls it away again out of play off to the left, 0-2.
And hardest working player of the game, brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. That's got to be Matthew too, right? He's been just good day after day after day. And another great start by him as you just reading off his numbers. So he'll be our hardest working player of the game by Bosch Power Tools.
Yeah, 4 straight quality starts for Boyd. Reynolds waits for the 0-2 with McCutchen at first. And the pitch. Chopped to first, fielded by Bush. He whirls, throws to second. There's one. Swanson back to first. Double play. 3-6-3. Beautifully executed. 2 away.
This is in a textbook. Reynolds hooks this slider. 1 hopper to Bushy and perfect feed to Swanson, then gets back to the bag, and the Cubs turn to 3-6-3 double play. Probably the hardest one to turn for the infielders. Cubs execute perfectly. Big outs, period, or plural, by the Cubs.
Now the batter, Nick Gonzalez. The pitch. Inside ball 1. Double plays turned by the Cubs defense, sponsored by Nissan. Experience the thrill at NissanUSA.com. Why is it the toughest double play to turn?
Well, for the first baseman, he catches. He's got to throw to a moving target at second. And then he's got to hustle up and get back to first to field the throw coming back. So none of it is easy. And you've got a runner going into second to kind of, get into your throwing lane. So it's a tough play, and when it works right, like that one, it's a very nice play.
The last pitch outside. The next pitch is inside. So it's now 3-0 on Gonzalez. And a reminder, the first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Cubs bullpen has been fantastic lately. That pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. 3-1 on Gonzalez. Presley's been a big part of it. After that rough outing he had in extra innings against San Francisco earlier this season. The 3-1, Gonzalez swings, misses, bat goes flying, smacks off the netting near the Cubs dugout along the left field line. And he's going to keep the bat.
Impressive bat toss about halfway up the netting. Just past the Cubs on deck circle.
But after that rough outing against San Francisco, Presley went to Ian Happ and said, give me a scouting report on what you see from a hitter's perspective. And Happ gave it to him, and he's been fantastic ever since.
Yeah. And I think for Rye also, he had some issues with his knee, and he's one of those guys he's a quality veteran player as this ball's chopped foul. Gonzalez at the plate. You're never going to hear excuses. He's just going to take the ball day after day after day and keep going out there and doing his job. Quiet leader, and everybody in the bullpen, they go, well, who's the leader down there? Everybody press it instantly. That's the guy.
The payoff pitch, line to left for a base hit by Gonzalez. A 2-out single here in the top half of the 7th inning. It'll bring up Key Brian Hayes.
So the double play turns out to be a big play so far. Yeah, Cubs very fortunate to have some really good veteran presence on this club, and it has really helped some of the younger guys.
Presley coming into play today has not allowed an earned run in 14 straight scoreless outings. Righty-righty matchup. Presley deals. Hayes looks at the ball low and outside, 1-0.
The thing to me that has happened with Presley is, he was scuffling along there for a while and his velocity was down. He was 92, 91, 92, maybe touched 93. Now he's up to 95, and that tells me he's healthy.
Ground ball through up the middle for a base hit, stopping at second base Gonzalez in a little bit of a 2-out rally here by the Pirates. Cubs with a 2-1 lead over Pittsburgh. Back-to-back singles by Gonzalez and Hayes here in the 7th. It'll bring up Henry Davis, the catcher, but first Carson Kelly and Dansby Swanson will head to the mound, as will pitching coach Tommy Hotovy for a meeting. That gives us an opportunity to pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, an Odyssey sports station.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Matt Spiegel is along, our engineer, the maestro, Paul Zarang, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. We're in the top half of the 7th inning. Cubs 2, Pirates 1. Pittsburgh threatening. Men at first and second with 2 away, and the catcher Henry Davis due up against the veteran right-handed reliever Ryan Presley.
Drew Pomerantz now warming up in the Cubs bullpen. And it's a big moment here in the game. Top of the 7th, Cubs up by a run. 2 men on, 2 outs. Cubs would love to see Davis hook a little ground ball to short.
Presley looks at second, kicks and fires, and the first pitch low to Davis, 1-0. Gonzalez at second base, Hayes at first. Davis 0 for 2. Hitting at 198 on the year. Right-handed batter hits out of a crouch, bit of an open stance. The pitch. Tap foul at the plate. That one took a bite out of Davis.
I think that ball, he fouled it off, and I think it hit him in the back foot. Went straight down back behind him and hit him in the back foot. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, doesn't it figure you have the shin guard on the front foot?
Let's take a look. We're getting it in the monitor again. Yeah, back foot. I don't know if I've ever done that.
It looked painful.
Yeah, I don't miss that at all. Yeah, not even a little bit.
So here we go. The 1-1 to Davis. Up high. 2 balls and a strike.
Cubs in the defense in the outfield playing him around the pole just a little bit. One thing we've heard about Davis here as of late is he's been trying to use the other side of the diamond in RBI situations.
Here's the pitch. Davis swings, hits one in the air, down the left field line, racing over half, but this one curls foul out of play.
Good slider by Presley and broke Davis's bat as he hit that ball off the end of the bat.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Davis walks back in the direction of the Pirates dugout.
The bat boy gave him a bad bat. He didn't like that one.
He's got a new one.
One of the rare guys in our game to not wear batting gloves when he hits. He has a wrist guard on his left wrist, which is probably just protection for his wrist from having some wrist issues, but no batting gloves. You do not. He might be the only guy in the league that does not wear batting gloves.
And you don't see that too often. Here's the 2-2. Davis pulls it on the ground, foul in front of the Cubs dugout along the third base line. Mike Ribello, the third base coach, had to jump rope out of the way. That's why the coaches wear the batting helmets. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 away. Can Presley work his way out of the jam? A long set and the pitch. Called strike 3. Fastball that hugged the outside edge. And Presley indeed does get out of the jam. Time to stretch at Wrigley. The Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. The 7th inning stretch is sponsored by the new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Here is Wayne Messmer.
And Chicago native Wayne Messmer.
All right, Cub fans, on your feet. Let me hear you good and loud. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back for its root. Root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. You never sounded better.
Hey Chicago, this is Matt Shaw. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs radio network.
News just in.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in 1911.
To an app. Once you select your desired doneness, the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill or the turkey out of the oven. It's that simple. Order one now on ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
Carson Kelly lifts a fly ball to shallow left center field. Ranging over to his left and making the catch is Tommy Pham for the first out, as Kelly is retired. There's a new man on the mound for Pittsburgh here in the last of the 7th. 25-year-old right-hander Braxton Ashcraft, 6'5", 220 pounds. Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. Nico Horner at the plate and looks at a ball inside, 1-0. Horner's 2 for 2 today. Ashcraft works on the extreme first base side of the rubber, sets at the belt, high leg kick and pitch, and Horner swings, and it's a fly ball to center. Drifting back, Cruz, he's got a play and makes the catch. Almost knee-high. 2 away.
Yeah, Cruz is, he's a work in progress in center field. He has not been been a shortstop all his career and younger, and now he's moved to center field. And, it's a work in progress. He's a great athlete, got a great arm, can go get the ball, but he's still trying to figure out his position out there.
Matt Shaw hits one to center, and this is caught belt high off to the right by Cruz for out number 3. Cubs go down in order here in the 7th. We head to the 8th, 2-1. The Cubs lead over the Pirates on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs.
Why rent when you can own for about the same price? Schedule your free fitting at Suits2020.com.
2-1 Cubs, top of the 8th inning here on a nice day here at the Friendly Confines. The 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877. Cars for Kids, that's Cars to the K to donate your car today, Zing.
Thanks, Coom. Left-hander Drew Pomerantz, the new pitcher for the Cubs here in the 8th. The batter, Jared Triolo. Pomerantz steals, pitch outside, ball 1. Pomerantz, the veteran left-hander, has yet to give up an earned run this season for the Cubs in 17 1/3 innings. Here's the pitch. Triolo looks at a strike, 1-1, a fastball at 90 miles per hour. Now, Pomerantz took the loss in extra innings yesterday, but it was the ghost runner that scored, and those runs aren't earned. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Triolo taps it foul at the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. There's no reason for a pitcher to get penalized pitching in extra innings for runners that he has not put out there.
Here's the 1-2. That one's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Dansby Swanson putting the Cubs ahead with a solo shot in the 6th inning to break a 1-1 tie. The pitch, pop foul out of play off to the right by Triolo. 2-2. Matthew Boyd, a quality start, went the first 6 innings, gave up just 1 hit. A solo shot to Andrew McCutcheon in the first. He walked 1 and struck out 3, throwing 93 pitches today. Pomeranz steals. Triolo hits one on the ground to short, fielded on a chest-high hop by Swanson. Sidearm throw to first in time. 1 away.
Good start to the inning for the Cubs and Pomeranz. These low-scoring games, boy, they keep you on the edge of your seat. You know, one swing of the bat either way can be game-changing. Cubs, Dansby Swanson was that swing for the Cubs, giving them the lead 2-1 in the 6th.
Tommy Pham looks at a ball high and outside, 1-0.
Dansby hit a long home run to left, right into the teeth of the wind, too.
Yeah, that was impressive. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming as Pham looks at a fastball for a strike from Pomeranz, 1-1. Now the pitch. Low. 2 balls and a strike. Time to see how we did with our guesses in the Vinny's Beverage Depot attendance game. 39,554 in attendance today. The pitch. Up high. 3 balls and a strike on Pham. And the man sitting to my left, the Coom Dog, kicks off the weekend as the winner. Really close with your guess, Coom. 39,650. Now time called. Craig Counsell and trainer Neil Ramp going out to the mound. Is Pomeranz okay?
He's walking around. He's kind of clutching in his back, his lower back. I don't know if it grabbed him. He was like reaching right about where your belt would be in your lower back area. I don't know if he like a quick back spasm or what. He's going to try to throw a pitch. Every now and then, and for all of us, your back will grab you and then it goes away. And they're going to let him throw a couple pitches, see how he's doing.
He just threw the first one and
I think he wants to stay in there. Count's making sure he's all right.
He's got the glove in front of the mouth, so you can't see what he's saying. But he's going to stay in there. You're right, Coom. Pomeranz has been through some things in his big league career. Took him a while to come back here to the majors. Had not pitched in the big league since 2021 because of injuries. Here's the 3-1 to Pham. Ball 4 outside. So a 1-out walk for Pham and the Pirates here in the top of the 8th with the Cubs on top 2-1. But Pomeranz overcame a whole bunch of injuries. And he's here with the Cubs now and pitching extremely well. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at the plate and looks at a ball low, 1-0.
Now, when he pitched for Craig Counsell, Counts had said he was one of the best relief pitchers in the game in the stretch that he was pitching for Milwaukee. And then, after that, he got banged up a lot. And, when he was available and said he was healthy, manager said, yeah, absolutely. We'd take a shot at him, and it has paid off because he has pitched extremely well for the Cubs.
20 games, a 2-1 record, a 0.00 ERA. Wow. Kiner-Falefa fouled away the last pitch. Here's the 1-1. Line drive, leaping catch by Nico Horner on the edge of the outfield grass in right. Beautiful play. 2 away.
A little jam shot off the bat of Kiner-Falefa. And Nico goes back and little jump and makes the catch. A nice play by Nico.
So 2 down. It'll bring up O'Neill Cruz. Cubs 2, Pirates 1 here in the top of the 8th. Man at first. Pomeranz a long set. And the pitch. Foul back. Should we call that catch by Nico the catch of the game?
You sure can, absolutely.
The catch of the game, sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Discover a weekend getaway in Des Moines, where only the S's are silent. Find all the fun at CatchDesMoines.com. Now the 0-1. Tapper up the first baseline, fielded by Bush, and he tags Cruz. Just a little past halfway up the line for out number 3. Pham stranded on the bases. We head to the last of the 8th.
Hair the very next day. AdvancedHair.com.
The out-of-town scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now. Instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Got 2 finals, Zach Zaidman.
Thank you very much, Matt. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Wrigley Field. Ian Happ looks at a ball low.
Marlins beat the Nationals 4-3, and the Reds over the Tigers 11-1. The Reds lit up Jack Flaherty today.
It's a 2-1 lead for the Cubs over the Pirates. The next pitch popped up, foul out of play off to the left by Happ. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Cardinals Brewers among many games just getting going. Zach?
Thank you. Braxton Ashcraft remains on the mound for the Pirates. Now time called by the catcher Davis. Maybe they're having a pitch comm issue of some kind. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. It seems like Pirates are in any big hurry to get one out there. Maybe it's... Okay, guys. Don't mind us. We get 40,000 people just hanging out here waiting.
That kind of day. Ashcraft's ready. Here comes the 1-1 to Happ. That one just a bit outside. It sails all the way to the backstop and breaks one of Paul Zarang's microphones.
So where's that sign? I want to know what that sign is. Is that the hit the bull sign? I don't know what that is. Yeah, that's the sign.
Happ swings and fouls one off the netting to the left, 2-2.
Where's Kevin Costner when you need him?
And with 2 strikes, the third baseman, Hayes, vacates the usual third base position and drops back as Happ swings and fouls one back, 2-2. And once again, the ball boy comes flying in from right near the Cubs dugout along the third base line behind home plate to pick up a foul ball. Here's the 2-2. Broken back ground ball hit to second. Fielded by Gonzalez. The flip to first in time. Happ's retired. 1 away.
A little off-speed pitch. Looked like a little cutter, a little backdoor cutter, and Ian rolled over. That one broke his bat. Boy, it should be nice to get 1 extra insurance run here in this bottom of the 8th inning. Daniel Palencia warming up and ready in the Cubs bullpen for the top of the 9th. Well, this is a good chance to take a shot at the seats if you're talking Seiya.
Ashcraft deals. Tucker was thinking just like you. Man, he took a big swing and missed a curveball. 0-1. Cubs right in the meat of their order, presented by Chef IQ Sense. Never under or overcook your food again. Purchase now at chefiq.com. Tucker's 2 for 3 today. A couple of singles and a strikeout. Righty-lefty matchup. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
I got a little slider down and in, breaking ball, and another big swing trying to hit one of the seats in right. Just a little out in front.
Ashcraft peers in, gets the sign and deals. Pulled foul into the camera well along the first base line. Hope everyone's okay there.
I know they're awake in the camera well. Hopefully the cameraman is okay down there, or whoever. I see some people looking down there. That ball went sizzling down in that camera well.
The 0-2, a swing and a miss by Tucker. And a slider, strike 3, 2 away.
A bunch of sliders down and in to Tuck, and just couldn't quite get to that last one. Second out of the inning.
And here comes the Cubs designated hitter, Seiya Suzuki, who's 0 for 3. Designated hitters for the Cubs, sponsored by BBQ Authority. Visit BBQ Authority in Lisle. The pitch is a called strike. Front door slider. Started off the edge and then spun in. 0-1. Lefty-righty, I should say righty-righty matchup as Suzuki fouls it away. Out of play off to the right, 0-2. That was a 97-mile-per-hour heater from Ashcraft. Stay tuned for the toast of the game presented by Binny's Beverage Depot coming up in the 9th inning as Suzuki looks at a ball low and outside, 1-2. And Coom will have that for you. Also a reminder, immediately following today's ball game, Matt Spiegel will have the Verizon Cubs radio postgame show. Called strike 3. Suzuki frozen by a slow-moving front door breaking ball that floated into the zone. Cubs go down in order in the 8th. As our good friend Pat would say, fasten those seatbelts.
What is it that kind of got you hooked as a foodie, so to speak?
My dad was really into food when I was a kid. He traveled for work and he would go to places all over Europe and stuff. He was in sales and I feel like he would come home and try and cook the things he ate overseas. And so as a kid, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that kids aren't usually exposed to. And so I credit my dad for that.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of, to punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
Make your Chicago Cubs players all-stars. Cast your 2025 Pro Spirit MLB All-Star ballot daily at Cubs.com/all-star. Daniel Palencia now on the mound as we begin the top half of the 9th inning. Palencia trying to close this one out. The Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. Andrew McCutchen at the plate. Powerful right-handed batter. The right-hander Palencia sets at the belt. High leg kick and pitch. Up high, ball 1. McCutchen responsible for the Pirates' only run this afternoon. A solo shot in the first off of Matthew Boyd. The only hit that Boyd allowed over 6 innings of work today. And the 1-0. McCutcheon pops it up, shallow left center, dropping back the shortstop Swanson. He's under it and makes the catch. 1 away.
Big first out for the Cubs and Palencia here in the 9th. As that ball was absolutely skied to left. If that was a punt, and we got a guy in the booth that knows a little bit about punts, that would have been a good punt. Not good in baseball, though.
A guy that knows a little bit about punts in the booth.
Yeah. We get Double J showing up today. Jeff Joniak coming in to say hi. Uh-huh.
Touchdown.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Bears.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Daniel Palencia hopes to be a little ridiculous here. 99-mile-per-hour fastball off the outside to Brian Reynolds. The next pitch. It's fouled back 1-1. And the crowd once again applauding the ball boy racing over from near the Cubs dugout along the third base line behind home plate to pick up the ball and race right back. Here's the 1-1. Reynolds fouls it back again. And listen to the crowd. Here comes the ball boy again. Devin Hester likes speed to pick that one up.
I wouldn't go that far.
All right. He's getting his steps in today.
Palencia coming out and throwing some absolute bullets. He needs to throw one more big pitch to Reynolds.
Palencia peers in, gets the sign from Kelly and deals. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the slider. 2 away as the Pirates are down to their last out.
Well, after some good gas from Palencia, then he spins the breaking ball and throws it in the ideal spot down and in. And when you're throwing around 100 miles an hour, you can't hit both. And Reynolds swings over the top of that slider.
The Pirates cleanup man, Nick Gonzalez at the plate, right-handed batter. The pitch by Palencia, a slow-moving tapper to third, barehanded by Shaw, throw to first, not in time, as Gonzalez beats it out. And now he represents the tying run at first base with 2 away.
Yeah, not much you could do if you're Shaw. You come running in, he does everything he can. You barehand this ball, and he gets it and makes a good throw right away. But Gonzalez with good speed just outruns the play.
So 2 down here in the top of the 9th. Cubs 2, Pirates 1. Gonzalez at first. Right-handed hitting Key Brian Hayes at the plate. Palencia sets at the belt, kicks and deals. Strike 1. Fastball clocked at 99 miles per hour. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. The 0-1 is low and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Palencia missing with a heater at 100 miles per hour. Crowd on its feet, trying to help Palencia close out this game. A long set. And a throw to first, diving back in safely, Gonzalez.
One thing if you're Daniel, throwing over to first and keeping the runner close is one thing. You got to make sure, though, that you throw the ball accurately. The last thing you want to do is put that runner, Gonzalez, in scoring position.
Now the 1-1. Hayes fouls it back off the screen. Pirates down to their last strike. The count 1-2.
That's part of the reason. Very seldom will you see a closer make pickoff throws. He's just going to go on the attack against the hitter.
Gonzalez extends his lead off of first. Palencia sets. Gonzalez goes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. Cubs win. They beat the Pirates 2-1 as Palencia locks it down.
Good job by Daniel coming in here in the 9th. Some great fastballs as we're accustomed to seeing. And a couple really good sliders to get the strikeouts of Reynolds and then of Hayes. But the key for Daniel, throwing strikes with that fastball and being aggressive in the zone, and the Cubs win a ball game.
2-1 over the Pirates as the Cubs improve on the year to 43.